Folks on YouTube, welcome back. I realize I should probably be recording because I'm paused and did just a couple hours of stuff here, nothing major, but just Joe's buying some more rifles, and I just made a request for a license production. Did you get the pop up for that yet, or
Oh, right. Yep.
there we go? And then give it an hour to apply. You should be able to buy more stuff now. Do you have more factories like in your construction queue, or?
Just one.
Hmm. That license cost me two. Oh, you.
I think maybe another one went to. Uh, no.
Oh, it only gave you.
I'm
It
not
only
sure.
cost one. It told me it was going to cost two. Oh, it's. I know what it was. I was already buying one license for one, and that it's
Oh,
two to
right.
buy two. Okay, so you only got one from it,
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
uh, you can still use it to buy more stuff. This is fun money laundering schemes that we're developing. I buy licenses for things that I'm never going to produce, and in exchange for these garbage licenses, like, I mean, I guess it lets me see your ship designs without having to. It's pretty useless um, to do, especially because I would not be able to. I'd suffer a production debuff if I actually tried to produce them, so it's pointless. Um, but yeah, and then I sell you rifles that you buy with the money that you just got for the license.
Yeah.
Also, that
If
I can
only you
get
could
a.
just lend lease.
It's like the Iran Contra thing. It's a way of laundering money to get around congressional opposition.
Yeah.
U.S. Congress doesn't want me sending rifles to the Spanish left, so instead I sell
Yeah.
you rifles that you send the Spanish left.
There you go.
um,
Oh, I'm almost at 300 Navy experience.
You probably need rifles for your offensive in the south too. So let me put up a few of those, a few more modern rifles too. Um,
Okay.
and you can buy some of those. Let's see.
Just put in one factory's worth.
Well, yeah, enough for maybe a couple deliveries with one factory, which would be I'm trying to that'd be 300 value. All right, 400. So at a discounted price, that's enough to buy 400 M1s. So I just knock down the price and reduce the number so you can just hit buy all instead of having to type out 400. And then I'll buy those and so I can get back to selling overpriced rifles to the AI because normally I sell these at a markup instead of a discount, and the AI
Yeah.
actually buys them. Like Chile is buying my marked
Oh.
up rifles, as is I think someone else was too. South Africa decided to buy artillery. Who else is buying M1s? No one currently. Uh, I thought there was an earlier deal that expired that like they finished finished making payments. But yeah, most of these I sell at a marked up price, meaning effectively 2/3 higher price than you're currently paying. Um, 25% up instead of 25% down from the base price. Oh, and I have some P-35s to sell too. The AI likes to buy fighters, so cool. They don't seem to care to buy my naval bombers, though. I've had those up forever and they haven't bought even one. Oh well, you never know. Maybe at some point they'll change their decision making. All right, I'll pause it for a tiny bit here, at least till I finish the Federal Housing Act. I want to see where it gives build slots that should change my industrial production if it gives me a build slot in a state that already has infrastructure. It's 5 random states, and it doesn't tell me ahead of time. Looks like one in New England. Housing development New England. Cool, that's beneficial. Where else got Colorado, looks like. Not useful. Maybe it wasn't. Um, Minnesota. Okay, New England and Minnesota both got build slots. Uh, da, 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 da. Hold on. I'm just gonna kick these up in the queue. Minnesota. Where's the New England? Oh, New England was just adding to the bottom of because I was already working in New England. Cool. Where are you in your focuses right now, Joe?
Agricultural Credit Bank. Got
Oh,
11 days left.
cool. Cultural. Then it's 210 days more focuses before you can do party revolutions. It's 280 days to your ideology flip. If you end the Civil War right then, which might actually hold off on that a little bit, but you probably do want to get Ejercito. Or you probably at least want to get rent freeze for the stability and political power. And you could do Vincente Lombardo, who'll give you more communism drift, and then that let you. That's probably actually dangerous, but he will give you reduced consumer goods factor. But yeah, you probably want to work your way down to rent freeze, or there's also there's rural infrastructure. That's another thing.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Do I want to cancel the infrastructure in Jalisco? Because it'll just get added by this.
uh, maybe. Uh, yeah,
Although I already
actually,
did put some production into it.
yeah, yeah. No, actually, you probably don't because sorry, I'm completely forgetting about Zifo and the law industrial promotion. If you don't go right down to the ideology flip right away, then you'd probably want to do that. Because the law industrial promotion will give you 2 more factories, which is a big relative increase.
Oh yeah.
Or yeah, or the Bolivarian alliance, which will let you start running decisions to ally some of the nations in South America, and you might want to grab them before they join other factions. So
Oh
those
yeah.
are both possibilities, or liberate the Antilles, and pick. You could ask France, the UK, and Netherlands to leave the Caribbean, and potentially get war goals on it. If they say no, that might not be great to do just yet. Yeah, you probably just want to keep running down towards your ideology flip. And I should probably buy some more licenses off of you. In fact, heck, I'll keep buying ships because at least it'll let me take a look at what you've got and say, oh, I want that. I mean, I want that. Oh, that might be a good thing to build. Or maybe not that. Yeah, I'm gonna send the Durango as a reason. You know what? I'll send an offer to buy convoys off of you because that's never gonna change that design. And early trucks. All right, I just sent you another request for production licenses so you can buy more stuff off me, more rifles. Um,
I don't see a.
should get a pop up from I just requested it. Oh, did it not send for some reason?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, there we go. Did it still not? Did you get anything or no?
I don't see anything.
I guess I can't send across two different types of equipment. Still nothing.
Nope.
What is with this? Why won't it let me? Huh. It's being weird. I don't know why it's not working. Shoot. Hmm.
Because it's paused.
Maybe.
Oh, got 95 command power.
Oh, what's your cap?
120.
So it's not gonna cause issues immediately. Bu- 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 Hmm.
Do you think I should promote like an officer?
Um. Sorry, I was just picking my next focus. Yeah. Do you have any generals left to promote to field marshal?
Two.
Yeah, I'd promote them both. Get it out
A
of the way
media
now.
personality, and then the other politically connected.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna eventually need them all after the war when you're sending volunteers to people. So yeah, I promote both of them. Um,
All right.
and then what else? What else?
Is there ever any reason to keep someone as a general?
Because they're currently leading an army and you don't want the debuff.
Ah, okay. That's about
Um,
it.
because they're going to because you're headed towards a civil war and they might defect to the other side and you don't want to give the other
Right.
side the power up. There's
Okay.
probably other reasons. I can't think of them. It's field marshals are generally more useful, but sometimes you don't like if you're going to have a civil war, you don't want a general to be more useful.
Yeah.
Um, or if you know you're going to lose them, certain times, certain events will retire certain generals, so there's no point promoting them if you're going to retire them in a moment. Um, and there's other uses for the command power, like promoting junior officers or hiring new admirals. So yeah, I'll
Okay.
unpause it. Um, yeah, I'm cramming in Bureau of Ships here before I do Union Representation Act, which I'll have to do before the 38 midterms. Um, the best time to do it is actually such that completes after, because then I roll the die. If the elections go well, I gain support, and if they go badly, then all the negative effects will be erased by the Union Representation Act because it reshuffles Congress the first time you do
Oh,
it. I mean, when you do it, it like automatically rewrites if your support is low because it
what's the
seats.
Union Representation Act do?
Uh,
Like
the
flavor
U
wise?
the U.S. has elections. Two things. Or do you mean from a role play perspective, like what is it realistically doing, or do you mean
Yeah.
mechanically in the game?
Well, I
From
guess both.
from a role play perspective, it's guaranteeing a certain number of seats in the House of Representatives and the Senate will be, or I don't think for the Senate, but a certain number of seats in the House will are assigned or reserved for trade unions. So
Oh,
like instead of it just being elections, trade unions get representation, which makes a certain amount of sense as a guarantee that all the seats won't just be controlled by people who are beholden to corporate interests, that the
yeah.
workers will actually have a voice If the U.S. ever did
Huh.
something like that, the right would immediately cry foul and call it
Yeah.
and say that the system is being rigged, which is what happens here. But it would also lead to breaking some of the power of the billionaires.
Yeah.
Um, so and that's flavor wise exactly what it does and why you do it. Because it
Mhm.
both increases your like control of Congress from a cynical view, but also from a you know realistic view, and make sure
Yeah.
that workers have a voice and that the
A
rich can't.
step towards actual democracy.
Yeah, and towards socialism.
Yeah.
So which is worker control of
Yeah.
society essentially,
Mhm.
and or at least the
Oh,
means of production. Yep, China is crushing the People's Republic, and there's nothing I can do because they don't have a faction, so I can't take secure China to stop it. They have to be a
well, shoot.
faction leader, or I have to be a faction leader. I could have beelined the thing to form a faction, but I would have lost a lot of really important focuses to do that. It would have taken
Oh
me
well.
one, two, three, four, 5 focuses to form a faction. So half the focuses did, and no time spent just gaining political power. In short, it would have crippled my economy and military to try and intervene in China this early.
Yeah.
Um.
Agri- agri- agricultural credit bank is done.
Oh, nice. That means you can assign a captain of industry once. How much political power do you have?
29.
Oh, once you have, I think it's always 75. But once you get,
I'm still saving up for the Banco de Mexico. So I have to pick between those two.
Banco de Mexico will most of its benefit will you'll get in terms of doing war economy quicker, cheaper. So yeah, I would save up for the captain of industry first. But if you do
Yeah.
Confederation of Mexican Workers, they'll drop 120 political power in your lap. And when you do rent freeze, you'll get another 120. So I would go down those line for the political power. That'll let you get the central bank quicker, and your captain of industry you'll probably already have by the time you finish it. But and that'll eventually
All
let
right.
you get Vincent Lombardo. You might not make that your very first priority because he increases communism support, but he does help with your industry. So you might do him
Yeah.
too. Um, all right, 5 days, and I get a tech that will make it high time to do. Oh, I can do anti-communist raids. I'm gonna do those because it's has the smallest effect on my eventual communism support if I do them really early. Because the higher your support, the more slowly it builds more. Though it's at specific stepped intervals. Like I think when it gets 25%, it slows down. When it gets to 35, and when it gets to 50 and 75, I think are some of the thresholds. So it's not actually smooth, and there are specific points at your support where it's if you're trying to take advantage of that, you want to do it before, but it also reduces the rate of losing ruling party popularity. So I'm just doing it now, really early, because I'm not going to be flipping
Yeah.
for a while, and I need the base stability. So yeah, anti-communist raids just just became available. I just got enough communist support for those. Uh, the bourgeois are fighting back, arresting maybe some of the most violent communists because I did suspend the persecution. So maybe on trumped up charges or something. I don't know, like accusing people of terrorism or inciting violence or who knows. Maybe it's just
You get
the
an event?
oh no, I chose a anti-communist raids decision for this
Oh, I see. No,
stability and
I
to
gotcha.
delay the loss of ruling party popularity, especially
Yeah.
because once I start the path to civil war, once I get the like January 6th event, I lose 20% base stability. And then once I do a
Oh,
limit interventionism, I lose another 20% base stability. So my base stability is
yeah.
going to eventually suck. So I'm building it up as much as I can. I wouldn't be doing it if like Germany was fascist and eating on its path to eating all of Europe, but because they're communist, they're less of an immediate threat. So, I can think more long term, can afford to.
So
And
which Spain should I prioritize?
the Republic,
Okay.
they're closer to dying, and their supply lines are shorter. And they, if they do manage to pull off a victory, they'll be the most like beneficial to like not potentially giving
Okay.
France a bunch of free territory when they decide to declare war on France, because
Oh yeah.
that's stupid. They shouldn't do that, and they almost certainly will.
Jeez.
Yeah. Um, research slot available. Computing machine. Working my way down the electronics line. I often don't bother with advanced computing machine, but everything before that gives access to bomb sites, stabilizer, ballistic computers. It's all useful. Um, and I need to sit here for a second and design a new cruiser class, a torpedo cruiser. I've had the hull for a while from a special project, but I didn't want to do it until I had um had the Navy trait. Oh, I didn't assign a policy. Hold on. I also need to do that. Mechanical genius. Cool.
So is this which path is the Spanish commune going down?
Um, if you look at it, it's the center left. It's
Ah,
anti-fascist workers' revolution opposed the or whatever the
hinder and KBD interference.
yes, that path.
Ah, okay. So is it their focus tree that makes them fight France or no?
Um, yeah, their focus tree gives them war goals on all, and the AI is very bad about like saying, okay, I can get a war goal, but I don't want to actually use it because it would be suicidal. If the AI gets a war goal, they almost always use it. It's really
I
annoying.
think they have to go Stalinist doctrine to get a war goal on France.
There
Yeah.
shouldn't there be one.
Or I assume you're talking about support French communists.
No, there's another one. I think
Oh.
support French communists
Hmm.
starts a revolt in southern France. That's different. There's one that gives a war goal, I believe. It should be further to the left on the tree. It's shared with the anarchists, I think. It's yeah, the positioning tells you like some things are positioned midway between them, or two of them are shared by two of the branches, two of the three main branches. And then each branch has two sub branches. Well, actually, anarchists only have one.
Yeah.
Um, Jesus, it's costing a lot of Navy XP.
Grants war goals on all countries who sent volunteers to the nationalists during the Civil War.
That's the thing. That gives them a war goal on Germany.
Yeah, avenge foreign interference. Hmm.
I have to take a look in a sec after I'm done designing the ship. Uh,
I don't know. Maybe they won't fight France. Maybe I'm just missing it.
Whew. You should see the stats on this torpedo cruiser. Um, it's
Which one?
got the torpedo cruiser I'm currently designing.
Oh, yeah.
Hasn't made out of the designer yet, and just
Okay.
stopping for a moment to ponder and make sure I didn't mess anything up. Um, yeah, I guess I could give it some depth charges so when it does make it a little easier to hit, but on occasion they might join task forces with destroyers. Nah, I can retrofit those in later if I really want. It's already expensive as heck. This thing has 132.4 torpedo attack.
132.4.
Yes, and torpedoes are much more. They have like twice the odds of causing critical hits of light or heavy attack. So it's like they always pierce
Yeah.
armor and they ignore armor. So if one of these it would
Jeez.
if that hits, I think it all fires as one giant salvo. But if one of these salvos hits a capital ship, because that's mainly what torpedoes are good against, it will completely wipe the stupid thing out. It's
Jeez.
like, I mean, well, not completely. Heavy cruiser won't. If it gets a crit, it'll kill a heavy cruiser in one to salvo. If it gets a even with a crit, it won't kill a battleship or battle cruiser in one salvo, but it'll take out like half its health in one attack if it hits. Which I mean, even battle cruisers have some ability to dodge torpedoes. Battleships are usually much too slow. So and every 10th round with a lancer as the admiral, even if the enemy has full screening, every 10th round they get a chance to attack through the screens at a
Yeah.
capital ship. Um, if I was Japan, there's a national spirit they get that doubles that, so they get a 20% chance every round, which makes torpedo cruisers broken as hell. Plus, they get another national spirit that upgrades it, makes their torpedo cruisers even better than normal. Japan
Yeah.
can do ridiculous things with torpedo cruisers, but even as America, this is still ridiculously broken. It also has 184 HP, 12.6 armor, and it only costs 4,118 production. That's for a cruiser. That's not bad at all. Of course, it has only 9.2 light attack, so it's not very good at all against destroyers. But that's why I use them. Plan to use them alongside other cruisers. They're designed to kill destroyers and light
Yeah.
cruisers. Uh, they're basically screen ships that annihilate capital ships, which means I have almost no need for capital ships anymore. um, I can save those slots for. I say slots because the London Navy trade. I can save those slots for shore bombardment ships that are just specialized at big guns if I want, or I could actually produce a capital ship version of the torpedo cruiser as well.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm gonna call this screen or I'm gonna call it turn it S-A1 for screen or SCR. There we go. I did give it the heaviest armor possible because it adds HP so that if it does get shot by a capital ship or suffer a torpedo hit, it won't just instantly die
Yeah.
because it is a light cruiser, so it's not like destroyers are very hard to hit with big guns, but light cruisers do sometimes get hit by battleship guns. Um, and torpedoes, they're not invincible to those things. Even dirt destroyers can get very unlucky. Uh, 15 visibility, 34 speed. It's still a pretty hard target, but it's not impossible. All right. Save. I think this is good. Well, except Oh, ship names. You know what? That's fine for now. The Phoenix. Interesting. The first one is called the Phoenix. It's an appropriate name for a ship class that was an idea that was considered after or during World War I and then abandoned and then not pursued by a lot of nations. So I think Japan did build some uh, during World War II. Too late to make much of a difference, but it was a good idea. Torpedo
Yeah.
cruisers. Even now, people talk about like, oh, we don't need big ships because um, the days of big guns are gone. Fine, but big guns may be gone, but torpedoes are still effective. In fact, there's nothing that can shoot down torpedoes really yet. I mean, missiles can be shot down by like Sea Whiz or missile interceptors, but like torpedo interceptors are still a purely theoretical idea. I'm pretty sure. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm. I was trying to decide what task force to eventually assign this to. Probably with the Omaha cruisers. Where is that task force? Is it in for repairs? Oh, it is. Oh, the Portlands are. That's what they should go with. The Portlands are actually. Uh, sorry. You probably no idea what I'm talking about. S class. Where are those bloody things? Cool. Oh, I have a ship that's gonna be done in 3 days. All right. Um, good to pause. You still there, Joe?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I know if like you stepped away, sometimes never know. Someone steps away. Something's taking a sec. Um. Oh yeah. No, hold on. Let's see if that issue with buying licenses off you is resolved now.
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay. I don't know why it was bugged before, but yeah, you should be able to buy more. Let me put some discounted M1s on for do 400 at a discount. There we go. That should be a couple months worth with one factory. Or do you have two factories available now?
I've got a few.
Well, let me bump that up to 800 then. There we go. Yeah, you should be able to buy those M1s, and then they'll get equipped to your troops are actually on the front, and then you free up basic infantry equipment. So they are you attacking the jungle again? By the way, I just saw a thing there.
Yeah, which the planning bonus recovered.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so those rifles will be useful for the divisions down there, who are probably still most using basic infantry equipment.
All right.
Two deliveries. I'm taking a look. The Mexicans
Yeah, they're
north.
they're getting there. They're about halfway there, I think.
Halfway to fully equipped.
Oh, maybe like a third. Yeah, it looks like they got 650 the old ones and 250 new ones, including the M1 Garens.
Yeah, that's going to take a while. I'm trying to speed it up for you because, well, not only that, having a proper equipment when it's actually time to start taking land, which won't be too long. Can't can't grind the jungle rat forever, but you
Do I
know,
want to do I want to early deploy my infantry, or do I want to train them up fully before I deploy them?
oh yeah, and shoot, I had some troops that I should have deployed. I was completely forgot about that. Huh?
What's the
Canada,
difference between training them in the field and training them here?
in the queue, they make
Yeah,
it
in
up
the
to
queue.
100%. Training in the queue doesn't consume equipment. Training in the field with exercises does, but it's faster.
Oh,
The trade off
okay.
is you can pre deploy them when they're not fully equipped or not fully trained, and they train faster with exercises. So you gain both.
Ah, okay.
You gain speed and the ability to deploy under equipped divisions, but the cost is that it consumes equipment because exercises cause attrition.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Canada is actually going communist,
Oh,
which sounds great, except
they're
they're
still gonna fight you?
what?
Are they still gonna fight you?
Yeah, their communist focus path has a focus where they can invade the United States if there's three subpaths and one of them involves invading me. It's
Ah,
better than fascist where there's only two subpaths and one of them involves invading me, but and the other one involves attacking the UK instead. But yeah, let's see, because there's Supply the Red Army where they join the Comintern, Canada United where they can create a faction of their own. They do fortify the border. Oh, they in that one they fortify the border. Sorry, they fortify their coastline and create their own faction. And then there's mend relations with the Trotskyites, which leads to defense scheme number one, attacking the United States.
ah.
So yeah, topple government. I think they might not be able to do it if I'm already communist, but I'm not sure. No, it doesn't matter if I'm communist unless I'm a faction with them or I'm a subject of
Can
them.
you invite them into a faction easier?
Um,
Because it'll be the same ideology.
I'm. It's gonna take a long time for me to flip,
Oh
so
yeah,
they'll
yeah.
flip way before I do, and they have a very short focus path to attacking me. So they're actually like, yeah, the UK actually takes a lot longer to attack me, and I'm unlikely to end up at a war with them that soon. But Canada doesn't have that many focuses to pick from, and some of them are gated behind
Oh,
things that they can't do for a while. So their Canada could invade me like as soon as 1940 or something, reasonably soon. Uh, where do I want divisions? Probably out west, but let's see. I have completely undefended land in some areas. West. There's also Michigan. Snow, very cold. Washington State up near Serpocani. There's a supply hub there, so I probably want to protect. Yep. I'm just deploying some guys on my border with Canada. Getting them in position now. I'm actually gonna need to form a new army because I'm already at max size for my two existing armies. Huh. Slightly different shade of red. That could be confusing. How about a nice green? Um, cool. Uh, hmm.
I'll be back in a second.
Oh,
Just gonna grab something.
all right. Yeah, I need to run the bathroom anyways after this, so cool. Um,
I'm back.
oh, that was quick.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
just
just
grabbing something from the other end of the room.
uh just
What's
noticed
up?
the Canadian rail network got bigger than it was before. Must
Oh
have.
yeah.
I think it did. I think they built some new railroads.
Can you see?
Yeah, on the supply map mode. Rail
Oh yeah,
railways are pretty public knowledge, presumably, because anyone can travel the country and
yeah,
jump on board a train.
yep.
Um,
Should be easy for spy planes to see too.
Yeah. Um, should be. Redrawing some of my battle plans to, well, make more sense given. What I see here. Yeah. Actually, I'll just do it simple. I should have had more divisions training earlier, and I kind of forgot about it. How many rifles do I have in stockpile? 8,500. All right. Wait, 18 more divisions. Fun. Han gets his chance to lead some men directly. He's actually very good at defending. All right. I just got those divisions. Oh, I don't. These guys don't have a front. It's a Canadian division border here. I don't know anything about it. Cool. Yeah. Canada is the most likely nation to catch me by surprise, so I'm just making sure I have battle plans drawn up now, so I kind of have a mental idea of what I might attempt, and I can refine it off
Yeah.
camera or something later over time. But good plans can make a big difference, especially if you take the time to think ahead. Um, Nation like Canada's got lots of room to maneuver, so there's lots of more complicated things they can do. It's not like you're fighting the junta there, and it's only two states. It's tiny, um, and you don't really have very. I mean, you just have infantry. You don't really have tanks or anything, so it's kind of hard to rapidly break through anywhere quick enough to do like much maneuvering in such a tight area.
Yeah.
Uh, just curious, how many days would it take to break him in that jungle if you didn't call off the attack?
42.
Oh, yeah, you should probably
That's
just
just two guys though. I don't have the others
yeah, two with the
fighting.
high yeah, the two large ones because they have more breakthrough and will suffer fewer casualties. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You going to good to unpause?
Yep.
Cool. I'm pausing it. Um, that's all in time. So, how close are you to having that division trained? You asked about pre-deploying, so I'm guessing.
Um, let's see, 80%.
And he's fully equipped, so it's just a matter of getting to 100, or
Yep, he's fully equipped.
oh yeah. You
Should
can
I drop him?
no, but you can assign where he deploys so that the moment,
Veracruz.
yeah, like in that jungle province or the plains west of it, doesn't either one they can attack from.
Can I choose the province specifically?
Yeah,
Oh, I never realized that.
it's specific province that you click on. Like I just
Hmm.
I used the pre-deploy and I dropped the troops right where I wanted them, like each province on the Canadian border.
Ah, I
Because
see it highlights the entire state and it labels the entire state. So I never realized it was a per province thing.
yeah, it sub highlights
It
it, like
highlights
highlights
it,
the
yeah.
whole state, and then
Hmm.
it has a deeper highlight on the province that they go into. So
Yeah.
yeah, took me a while to realize. You might are the two that attacking? I probably should have noticed or asked about this earlier. Are they attacking from the both from the jungle, or are they attacking from
The
the jungle?
plains. They're attacking from the plains. Do they have to
Oh,
attack from the jungle?
you might want to call off that attack anyways, since they need to probably want to top off planning and have one of them attack from the jungle, one from the plains, so that you can. That's considered to be flanking if they're attacking from two different provinces,
Oh. Okay.
and that way the
All right.
general will get experience in the trickster trait as well. And I
Oh,
think
okay.
flanking might increase the probability of having a recon advantage. I'm not sure, or rolling better tactics. There's some stuff that's hidden behind the scenes. I'm not sure even the wiki has anything on, but it definitely does help the general roll trickster and increase the
Okay.
combat width. So you could attack with more divisions. Theoretically, your opponent could also defend with more width, but I don't think he has the width
He
for it
has
to
two.
matter. Yeah,
There's two small divisions there.
yeah. So it doesn't matter unless if you had like 20 divisions, you'd want to attack from two provinces just to open up more width. But even with two, it still gets Trickster XP, so you should definitely um, send one of them. I would strategic redeploy them into the jungle so they don't suffer attrition marching into it manually,
Ah, okay.
because jungles inflict attrition to march into, annoyingly, even in your own territory, I believe.
Hmm.
Kind of
Damn.
like mountains.
All right. I did that.
All right. Yeah, and then once the one that's redeploying the jungle gets there and reorganizes, then you could try the assault again, maybe. But you definitely
Okay.
want to get that Trickster XP because Trickster is one of the most useful
Could I
general
have any of
traits.
my other troops fight at all?
Uh, not yet, though. If you have other divisions who you can pull from other areas of the defensive line to start building up men there, because it looks like you're going to really struggle just to break through in that one place that's kind of critical. So, um, jungles are really hard to attack into, but you need to take that jungle
Yeah.
eventually. Do you don't have any other large divisions, do you?
Nope.
You might add another to training at this point then, I guess. Since how many rifles do you have in stockpile right now?
Uh, 45.
Oh, well, yeah, then maybe you don't want to add more. I'm because they won't have any equipment to actually train with.
Yeah. Well, I'll be receiving some in 7 days from you.
Yeah, but you're also sending some to Spain, so
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah. For now, I would just yeah, I guess wait. At least till the other division is fully trained, but probably till you have the rifles.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me see. Hold on. Maybe I should probably, given how under-equipped it's probably a good idea if I funnel some more equipment to you. Did you just get another request?
Yep, for a truck
Yep.
license.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I actually had the capability to produce early trucks myself, because they're considered. Oh, yes, I did. So useless again, but in fact, I'm even marking it as obsolete so it doesn't clutter my interface. Purely useless, but um, but I'm just trying to funnel you as much money as I can at this point so that you can buy stuff and also build your factories. And let me put some rifles up for sale though. Some more M1s. I didn't realize your stockpiles are getting that low. Jeez, it really eats their equipment. Sending them
Yeah. Oh yeah,
every
weekly,
week.
250 a week. Yeah.
Yeah, but you must be really making bank on the Army XP and Navy XP.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting on 300 Navy XP, and I have 82 Army XP, and have bought like 3 doctrines already.
Yeah, nice. You're ahead of me in
So yeah,
doctrine. So,
yeah, it's crazy. Lots of XP. That's for
yep.
sure.
Um, you're staying on 320 Navy XP, you said?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. You might want to start. Well, you can't build your Navy MMOs yet until you do military budget review. And taking the Navy focuses. You might want to. Yeah, you might want to do Marines one soon, so you can start spending that
Oh,
Navy
I'm
X.
working on that.
Oh,
That'll be
you're.
done in 80 days, 87 days.
Oh, nice. And then you can. Yeah, then you can do the.
Then I can dump all it into those doctrines.
Yeah, and have that just done ahead of time. Oh yeah, also the expeditionary units sub branch gives air superiority, which helps literally your entire army, and even if not just Marines, but any unit in your army. Like anytime you're fighting a land
Oh,
battle with air superiority, that increases the size of the buff, both the max size and the
sweet.
scaled. What it does is adds 10%.
But I don't have any planes.
Yeah, not yet, but when heck, now that I realize I can just buy licenses from you, I might. What can we do to increase that further? Oh, um, I know what we can do.
Are you just gonna like give me your factories?
So that you can buy equipment and give them back to me? Absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, what the the economic capacity surplus that I get from selling you stuff is probably more useful in the factories directly. Instead of running more lines in parallel, I can run fewer lines but get stuff done faster. So there's
Yeah.
less time with the partial production sitting, not as useful. This is actually probably a boon to both of us, at least at this tech level. As you get more construction tech, it starts to be actually potentially less useful. Um, so you only have those two destroyer designs, one of which is labeled obsolete, but you probably not messed at all with designing new ships.
Nope.
Now's a good time to do it because for each variant of ship you've got, I can license it.
You can license, right?
Right. So if you share your screen, I'll show you where the button is, or you can just, I don't know. It's up to you if you just want to do it on your own. But if you go over to build ships and it looks like you're sharing the screen, and I automatically, yeah, if you go over to build ships, create variant of the Durango class Mark 1. Oh yeah, to make this
Plus,
easier,
I could. Well, I guess I don't have a lot of good modules, huh?
I was gonna say before you do anything, the first thing I do is uncheck that little box in the top that's next to Mark 1. Oh, what was that you unchecked at the bottom?
It was already unchecked. Auto
Oh,
upgrade.
oh yeah. Okay, yeah. If you go see the thing next to Mark 1, I would uncheck that. And
Display dynamic version numbering.
yeah, because that'll just create issues later. If you call something Mark 1, it'll call it Mark 1, Mark 1. And I would just save.
Hmm.
That's just to rename, so you can manually name the versions. And now if you click on the create variant again, and I would give it a unique name first, so like maybe Mark 2, just space Mark 2, or A1 or whatever numbering system you want to use. And then see the little button next to reset? There's like a thing that's two boxes.
Save as new.
Save as new. Yeah, if you click that, then once you add something to this, it'll create a new version instead of overwriting the old version, which you want so that there's more I can license. Yeah, you don't have any mine layers, so if you assign mine laying rails, the rear slot is better to use, slightly better to use for that than the front. I think because there's different options for rear and front slots, but
Mid.
yeah, hold on. Just hover over the slots long enough for the tooltip. I was trying to read it. Mid
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hover over the second one now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's the same list of things, isn't it? Torpedo launchers, mine warfare.
Yep. Looks like it. Do I want to produce these ships with mines on them?
I would remove just one of them. It doesn't matter for now. Uh, and save this variant that has one set of mine layers. Because
Yeah.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna spam out like versions
Oh,
2,
I
3,
see.
4. This is
And it saves on the power.
it's a money laundering scheme. You'll see in a sec. I'm gonna license every one of these variants. Oh my god, this is gonna be fun. Now if you click the create variant again,
The
you
old
see
one is now obsolete, though.
yes, that's fine. I can still license obsolete designs.
Why
Now
is
if
it
you
considered obsolete?
because whenever you create a variant in the game, you can click the little dial button to
Oh,
label it not obsolete, because you may still want to produce ones that don't lay mines. No, not that. Exit out of that. You can just hit escape to see the little decommission,
oh,
recommission. Now it's no longer obsolete.
I see. So it's just an aesthetic thing, really, more than
It's
anything.
it's for organization, so you can figure out
Yeah,
what things you want to produce and what are old
yeah.
designs. Also, sometimes it affects AI decision making, and sometimes obsolete designs are cheaper to license. Um, so I would go back to
So
yeah, I would label the other thing not obsolete because you probably actually do want to produce ones without mine laying for just convoy escort at times because it does add to
okay.
costs. And now it's let the Mark II that has the mine laying. Oh, also you might want to change the icon, but see it's got a shield there. You might
Ah,
want to change that to a mine so that mentally you know and just say it's a mine variant. And if
mm-hmm.
you create variant again,
Oh, right.
or you can even change the name to something that indicates it's a mine layer if you want. It really doesn't matter. But yeah. Anyways, that'll make it easier for mentally. And if you create another variant, um, call it I don't know mine layer 2 or something, because and now save as new. You have to give it a name first, or it'll like, and then you have to save as new, or else it's weird. Otherwise, it'll like erase the naming.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
then if you hit add another set of mine laying rails, because that'll double the rate of mine laying and not double the cost. The cost goes up, but not nearly as much, so it's much more cost effective. Although it's slower and easier target because it's got a heavier weight, well,
Yeah.
heavier number of mines, and then save this version. And now you have two mine layers, one that has just one set of mine rails, another two. They both have a niche. It's not entirely useless to have this, but now I can license both of those. Uh, And then if you create
How many
another,
designs should I make? Yeah, I
uh,
can swap it out for anti-air.
anti-air is not very useful on destroyers really. But if you go
Oh yeah.
back to the original one, the not the Mark One or whatever, that's the original Durango class, and create a variant of that. And now what I would do is add torpedoes in that bottom slot if you have any torpedoes.
Ah, right.
Oh, you
No,
don't
I
have.
don't. I'm
Oh.
broke.
What you can do though is remove the fire control system. That you might want to give it a name like Mark II or something first, and then save. Otherwise, the moment you change the design, it'll change it to a generic
Mark
name.
0.
Yep. Save as new so that it will keep it when you change and then remove
Yeah.
the fire control system. This makes it slightly more inaccurate, but this only means that for every like 40, what is it like? If it, previously if it fired,
Slightly
it
cheaper, right?
you know yeah it only hits like 2.5% more hits. So that's a very small increase in accuracy for a big increase in cost. The fire control I like to remove it from destroyers because it's not worth
Oh
the
yeah.
cost. Yeah, and then you can save this as well.
Okay.
For cheap convoy escort, early destroyer hulls, it's just not worth having fire control.
Should I make a
Uh,
variant of this?
that I would create a variant that's actually good for shore bombardment. This isn't very good. You probably first want to remove the automatic version numbering, like before the check mark at the top, and then just save so that it gets weird if you don't save it before or after moving the version numbering. I know it's and then if you open it back up, and you probably do want to just keep the original version so I can license it, even though you'll never produce it. But
Right.
yeah, give it like Shore Bombardment or Mark II or whatever you want to call it. You might even give it a new class name because this is gonna not even resemble the original ship at all in function. It's up to you. Shore
I
Bombardment
don't know what to
Cruiser.
call it.
I don't know. Yep, and that's a fine name. And then what you're gonna want to do is see that thing in the bottom left, the guns. You're gonna switch those for a heavy battery. It's currently got a heavy cruiser battery, which is all right for short bombardment, but the heavy battery is like a battleship gun, way more cost effective and powerful.
Oh, heavy battery 1. Okay.
Yeah, that has 14 heavy attack as opposed to the like 6. Um, and
Anti-air?
well, you're trying to save every change, so you create tons of versions, so I can eventually license them all. So I would just save this, maybe the version 0, I guess. This is just the most basic shore bombardment cruiser.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And then create another variant of it. I guess a Mark 1 or something that might be the first, might be more useful. And you gotta save as new thing. Oh no, because now you just rename the original.
Shit.
Yeah, it's weird. You can just rename it back to 0 and save. But then if you want to create a new variant with a new name, the way you do it is give it a new name, then save as new to tell the game that that's the name you want to use for the new version. And then you can change it again. I would suggest adding, yeah, anti-air.
2 or 1?
Uh, let's see. Uh, Probably 2. If anything less than 5 is bad for a capital ship because it drastically increases the chances of getting targeted. And I would just, but it's on a sliding scale and you don't have that much industry, so I would just save this version with the level 2 anti-air. Um, and this is just like cheap shore bombardment. It's not really for naval combat, so I might save though another version that's uh, I would just leave the others obsolete unless you want to produce one without any anti-air for some reason, which will get slaughtered if the enemy has even a couple naval bombers. So yeah, I would leave that.
Yeah.
Oh, it is obsolete. But you might create a Mark II
There we go.
version that's actually, if you select it again, the Mark
This
One,
one or this one?
yeah, and you know, and a Mark II and save as new. I would suggest adding a second set of batteries for better shore bombardment. Main batteries. There should be one of the slots should have them enabled. I'm not sure. I think it might be the
Secondary batteries? No.
no. There should be another slot that can use. I think it's
Here it is. Medium.
no, that can only use medium. There should be another slot that has the heavy eligible. Probably a third slot. Or is it only the? Can it only have that one set of heavy guns? I thought one of them could. Oh, I guess it's just.
This one can do medium.
I guess a heavy cruiser battery then. Oh, that adds to hit points. Okay, then you definitely want it. It'd make it less vulnerable to torpedo ships, and adds medium batteries are still they're not terrible against inshore bombardment. They're just not as good as the heavy ones, the battleship guns. Yeah, save that. And this one packs 20 heavy attack, which is better, more cost effective. That's probably the one you would actually want to produce. It's expensive, but 20 heavy attack for 75.62. That's not atrocious since it's the best you can
So I want
produce
to
with
make
your
another
current
one.
tech. If you want to maybe create a version that had some secondaries, maybe. You probably want to rename it though first. Otherwise, the game will. Well, actually, you can see what happens if you want, or not.
What's it do?
Watch. Try and change it. Oh, and save it and hit save as new. Otherwise, it will just overwrite the original version. And watch what happens once you click save as new. Oh, it didn't do it. Sometimes it does. Maybe it doesn't know what to do with or did you, oh, you already renamed it Mark III before you did that. I was gonna say if you hadn't changed the name, it'll give it a generic name. It'll call it like Coastal Defense
Ah,
Ship
okay.
1 or something.
I see.
Um,
So you have to change the name before you hit save as new.
otherwise,
Otherwise, if you hit save as new, it makes up a new name.
yes.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah, you might just give it since you're trying to create spam of variants, I would just give it one set of those batteries and save, and you as new, and then you might create a Mark IV that's got a second set of light batteries, second set of secondaries. Or actually, what's in that leftmost slot? What's available for it?
Anti-air.
Oh, just anti-air, yeah.
It's at 3.5 anti-air, right? You said you wanted it at 5. I could add a
I would
anti-air 1 to get it to
personally
6.
for the version that's got a full load of secondaries, you might consider giving it more. But for now, yeah,
Okay.
just save it one change at a time. So this and as new. That's the 4. And save as new. And then finally, create variant of Mark V. And this will be, oh yeah, having all these variants can also be potentially useful for retrofits.
Yeah.
I might even use the level 2 anti-air there because it still helps with shooting down stuff that targets it, and everything will try and target your big fat capital ship. So it's definitely not harmful, and and that can save that.
All right.
And last but not.
Oh wait, you want me to make one more?
Yeah, I was gonna say one more change you might consider is can the engine be upgraded?
No, I'm poor.
No. Oh, yeah, you got your technologically backwards. And let's see. Yeah, no, I guess that's the most high-tech thing you can currently produce. That's your best ship variant. But what you can do is
Grab.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. The battery makes sense because it's a short bombardment ship, but whatever you want to,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so what you can later do is you can produce one of the earlier variants and retrofit into the newer one. Like the reason you might do that is because it takes a real long time to produce even the basic variant. Um,
Oh yeah.
and the retrofit shouldn't. If you hover over the secondary battery for a second, I didn't even know what was that thing you opened on the left. I didn't even see that.
Equipment comparison.
Oh, oh, I didn't even realize that thing existed. That's
Yeah, I
cool.
saw a button.
I
It's pretty
never clicked
small.
that button. Yeah, that's new to me.
Why do these have such little damage?
Because they destroyer guns are very, very small and weak.
What are they
Especially,
for? Do they only do one light attack and one piercing?
well, here's the thing. Every time you hit a ship, you have a chance of doing a crit, and they can do things like disable rotors. So even though the
Yeah.
guns on destroyers are very weak, they're more useful than they seem because they can sometimes destroy like knock out the rudder or the secondaries on a bigger ship. So
Do they shoot more?
light attack guns fire once an hour, so no, they don't shoot any more than heavy attack
Ah,
guns.
okay.
They no, the main thing is just they're very cheap, and so it just gives
Right.
the destroyers a little bit of defense. Their main weaponry is torpedoes.
Oh,
Um,
okay. I see.
but yeah, what was oh God, I lost my train of thought here. Oh yeah, you can do later is produce one of the cheaper variants and then but hover over the secondaries for a sec until the tooltip pops up entirely. Nope. Okay, hover over the medium battery, same thing. Steel one. Okay, that's what I was wondering. So if you produced the variant at some point that didn't have the medium battery and then retrofit into this, it would only cost one steel to give it a medium battery like the production line instead of 5 steel for the base. So this can be used to produce the whole first 4 steel and then add in the medium battery. But gun medium batteries are pretty expensive to retrofit in, or you could produce the variant that has the medium battery and the heavy battery, but none of the secondaries. That will cost
Hmm.
5 steel, but it'll produce quicker, and then you can retrofit it into the version with all the secondaries, and it costs no steel. So you can see how when you have limited steel, like you do as Mexico, this can be a way to save on steel imports. So it's actually quite useful to produce one of the outdated versions and then retrofit it into the newer version. Probably the one that has both the big guns, because certain systems are really expensive to retrofit in, those being usually main cannons, armor, and engines are very expensive to retrofit, but secondaries are pretty cheap to add in later. So
Yeah.
it may be worth producing the one with no secondaries and then adding the secondaries. It can also be useful if you produce a variant with no secondaries and then you're about to get the tech for better secondaries and then you retrofit it into the new secondaries you didn't have the tech for when you began the retrofit. I mean, when you began the original hull, you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there's actually a couple uses for some of the older variants. Of course, I'm going to stop watching the stream now. Um, of course, despite having some niches, it's still a coastal offense ship. It's not that good in the end. This is mainly a money laundering scheme, is the way I like to put it.
Yeah.
Specifically, I think you're about to see what my master plan here. Although it might make me wait a day before I can do it. Um, let's see. The Mark One had or was it the Mark Two? Yeah, it was what did the Mark One have that the Mark Zero didn't have? I forget.
For which?
Of the short bombardment ship. Oh, that's when you add the anti-air guns, and then the Mark II had the main cannon. Um, yeah. Interesting. What am I license? So let me license the stuff. I'm not sure what'll happen if I start licensing something that you change later. If you overwrite the original
Oh yeah.
design, it might cause issues. Though, the only one you, yeah, as long as you save as new, it'll probably actually be fine. But yeah, just don't accidentally change any of these designs. Make sure to save a new version, right?
Okay.
Did you just get an offer?
No. Probably have to let a day pass.
Yeah, something because I bought licenses too recently off of you. I think
Yeah.
it's got like a 1 day cooldown, but it still lets me select the button, but it won't actually let it fire for like a day or so. So yeah, I'll do it on like the 28th again. I think it was 1100 hours before, so let me do it now. It should be good. So every one of those ships that you just produced,
Yeah.
you're going to get a license offer. Every one of them is one civilian factory more that I can license to you. This should give you
Nice.
something like 11 more factories.
Jeez. Yeah, 15 total.
Yeah, and you were at 4, so it should have been, you should have like, out of curiosity, how many do you have on construction? Because some of them might have gone to consumer
11
goods.
now.
How,
Yeah, there's 9 in consumer goods, 5 in market contracts, and now 11 working on construction.
9 in consumer goods?
Yep.
Oh, and 5 on construction, you said?
11.
Hmm.
I have 25 factories now.
Yeah, but so it does 25 factories and how many in 5 on consumer goods, you said?
9 in consumer goods, 5 on market, and then 11 on construction.
9 on. It must be charging a consumer goods factor on all those license factories.
I
Which,
have a civilian economy.
yeah. No, I'm saying I was trying goods on the factories when I first get them, and then you pay again when you receive them for license. So this is kind of inefficient
Ah,
because it gets double taxed, so to speak.
right. So a lot of it, more of it gets
Yeah.
pushed into consumer goods.
So it's a money laundering scheme, but it's expensive and inefficient money laundering scheme still.
Yeah, because we have to make
Because
stuff for people still.
yes, because you pay, I pay half of all my original factories and consumer goods, and then after paying that
Wow, really?
massive, yes, because of undisturbed isolation. So after I pay half,
Uh,
they go to you, and then you pay another third, and so the original number, only a third of the original factories actually get to be used for anything. So it's super inefficient. If we were both
yeah,
running total mobilization, it would only take away like around like a little less than like a little more than 70% would still get used for stuff. So it wouldn't be that inefficient, but thanks to us both having low mobilization, super inefficient. Uh, uh, but still, now you can buy a bunch of guns from me and actually arm up your military. All this is a workaround around the fact that I can't just lend lease you stuff and I can't just give you factories.
yeah.
And if I did just give you factories, they probably get double taxed anyways, knowing Paradox, just like those ones I just gave you did through the licenses. So, anyways, uh, I'm gonna go kind of crazy with this. I'm listing 2,400 M1 Garans now at a reduced price.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, 2,400.
I see 4,000
4,000.
M1.
Yeah, it did
You want me to buy
4,000.
M1 Garens? Are those for my own troops or to ship off to
Uh, they're for
Spain?
your own troops, and then that'll free up basic equipment that you can send to Spain.
Right. Okay.
Because you're gonna need the modern rifles eventually if you're gonna push south, and if you're
How
gonna
many deliveries should I get it in?
as few as possible.
I'll let's go with 10 factories for 2 deliveries. I'll have one
Yeah,
factory left over,
yeah, and for that
which I
one,
can use. Well, I could use it. I am trying to build in Sonora still. I want to get those ones done eventually, right?
yeah, but you maybe after this whole opportunity in Spain is gone.
I guess you're right.
It's not that window is closing. It's not going to be too long before the Republic gets crushed, and then eventually the Civil War is going to be over when either the commune or the nationalists win. So
Yeah, that's true. I don't
yeah,
have forever to farm XP.
yeah, and we do want the nationalists to lose, which it's actually a substantial risk they might win right now. So um,
Oh yeah, that too.
that would not be helpful. They're not even nationalists. They're fascists. You know
Yeah,
um, they're actually like they're the phalanx ascent path, which is actually full on fascism. So more like you know Germany and less Franco.
but they have a nice flag.
Fascists often do have style, but I mean, there's no
I also
question.
like the Republic's flag.
Yeah,
All of Spain's flags are pretty good.
yeah. I just put up 1,400 basic infantry equipment as well.
Oh,
I would slowly buy that with that one factory. Um, when you get more factories available in a day, I think I can even actually license even more stuff from you. Not
jeez.
ships because you already have all those ships, but you should have I think a few other items that can license like land equipment, ground equipment. Yeah, I am absolutely determined to help you farm as much XP as possible and build up your economy too eventually after this. So this is
Can
allowing
I
you to,
design a tank? Well, I guess I don't want to spend army XP on that. Well,
yeah,
not
no,
too much of it.
I mean the ship designs could eventually be useful. And you were just working your way up to a decent coastal defense ship, which you may
Yeah.
eventually, when you have more dockyards, want to produce that. Uh, actually, how much steel do you have in excess steel right now?
Surplus? Two.
Yeah. Jeez, that's
Just
brutal.
two.
Uh, okay. I can actually look at the designs. I'm gonna mark most of them obsolete here. Wasn't there a Mark Zero? I don't see the Mark Zero short bombardment ship anywhere here. I see the Anghuac. Oh, the One. Okay.
um, Let me see.
Oh, it's Mark Zero, Mark One. When I licensed it, it changed the name. It applied
Oh yeah.
the very dynamic versioning numbering.
So you
Like
got a Mark 6 somewhere?
I got a Mark Five, Mark Six, a Mark Four, Mark Five. It applied dynamic versioning numbering that
I
started with
see.
one. So I was a little
Huh.
confused until I realized it had done that. I was looking at the
Yeah.
last number and then I noticed there was another number before it. All right, getting rid of all that. Yeah, so this is also marginally useful in communication terms. I actually can't produce even the Mark Zero because it's above the weight limits for a cruiser.
Oh wow.
You can produce it because you're
Damn.
not subject to the London Navy Treaty, but I can't.
Yeah.
Um, and they were all based on the Anhoac class. So let's take a look at that. You started with something with secondaries, cruiser armor one. Um,
Oh, I could start making a submarine. I have an early submarine hull, but no submarine designs.
I would actually try and get shore So shore bombardment is one of the things that you can't buy ships, and um, you can buy aircraft and stuff, and you the role of subs is, I mean, naval raiding, and there's no real reason to do that in Central America because you can just take them by land for a quick. I would
Yeah.
shore bombardment will help you actually push though. Um,
Okay.
Given how little excess steel you have, only two, and how weak your naval shipbuilding capacity is, um, and how cheap it is to retrofit in secondaries, um, I might go and why did it take all of these off of? Oh, that's the Durango class. Hold on, let me fix this stupid version name. Um, sorry, so I might create one more version of that ship. Do you want to rip out secondaries just so it'll be quicker and save a little steel? How much does it cost? Oh, that secondary is pretty expensive. Sorry, I was looking at all the yeah, I might start a production line of the Mark Zero and put it in your naval production queue. And
Mark Zero shore bombardment.
yeah, it's and set it. Yeah, I mean, you currently you're finishing a destroyer, or did you finish it already?
It's almost done.
Yeah, and that's quantity one. So instead of going to just spamming convoy ships, with the second, what you might consider doing here is getting a start in the shore bombardment, and that'll go from two steel to a deficit of two, which isn't very bad. Um, you can easily deal with that. That's only effectively losing 15% of the production from that dockyard, and it would have costed one civ to buy more steel. Where is your steel producing? Guerrero. So eventually you might add infrastructure there, or Mexico City and Guerrero. When you eventually improve your infrastructure, you have even less of a deficit. Um, but it's going to take a long time to get that shore bombardment ship done. So you might like get a start now so that you'll eventually have a shore bombardment ship for when you like attack Colombia or something. I
Okay.
don't know what the expected completion date is, but I suspect it's like,
1946.
oh, you already. How do you know that already?
When I
Like,
hover over the single naval dockyard.
even though it hasn't been assigned yet.
Yep. And if I assign 5, it'll be 1941.
Yeah, so you might get started on it now, regardless, and later on, a little bit later in your industrial, like after the Spain thing, you'll have all these factories that you're licensing for me. You might then maybe actually produce a couple dockyards and get started in that thing so that maybe by 1942 you finally have a shore bombardment ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, capital ships have a long lead time. Like you often need to start producing 2-3 years before you actually need them. So it's just how it is. They're expensive, and that's historically accurate. So um, yeah, having the ability to do some shore bombardment, good. And that thing is then you can do later when you have more steel. Well, when you get the original version done, is then you can later retrofit it to add all the secondaries on and stuff. Um, or not even use it right off the bat. The Mark Zero still has the heavy battery, so it's all right. But then you can retrofit into the version with the medium battery as well and all the secondaries. It'll be kind of expensive, but it'll save on your limited supplies of steel, which you'll also need for other things like tanks and infantry equipment. So, you know,
Okay.
I keep saying but uh, this is a way.
Yeah.
It's a way to make make it's. If I say that one more time, I swear, it's a way to deal with your very limited steel and your very limited dockyards, and
Yeah.
eventually have a capital ship worthy of the name, sort of. It's still a cruiser with giant battleship-sized guns on a hull that's way too small for it, but
Yeah.
that's coastal defense ships for you. Um, what can I say? Your naval industry and your overall industrial power still kind of suck. You're Mexico. You're not like France or the UK or the United States yet. Of course, once you take all Central America, you'll be a lot more impressive in naval production and industry. Um, Something to think about. Those rifles are an investment in expansion in taking over those neutral countries that would otherwise be completely uninvolved in this war, most likely. I'm not sure any of them would ever join any factions. El Salvador could potentially join the Axis someday.
Yeah.
That's about it. Otherwise, none of that's all waste, like just completely uninvolved in the war, and you can gain a bunch of resources and actually become a substantial contributor to this war with all that conquered industry that you can
People gonna
core.
be going around guaranteeing them?
Who's gonna guarantee them?
I don't know. The British?
Not when they're communist.
Fair enough.
Democratic nations can guarantee other ideologies. Communist nations can
Ah,
only
right.
guarantee other communist nations, and none of
Mm-hmm.
those countries are communist. The fact that
Sweet.
the British decided to go communist is perfect because the only nation that could plausibly guarantee them is France. And France has terrible political power income, so it's highly unlikely they'll do it. And if they do, they won't guarantee, probably won't have enough to guarantee more than one of them. So you just won't attack that nation and you'll take all the others.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you'll eventually take it because you don't care anymore if you go to war with France. But uh, it's definitely, and France won't guarantee them that they're at war. So if you wait until France is, say, at war with Germany, because that could happen, or with the Netherlands or
Spain.
Belgium or something, once they're at war, you don't even have to worry about France. So yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
I'll unpause it now. That is a ridiculously long time for a ship, but I guess you only got one dockyard to put it. Meanwhile, I'm playing around with
Yeah.
33 dockyards here, so a little bit different experience. It's a little more pleasant to deal with as a situation. Okie dokie. Just completed my first Brooklyn B1 class a while ago. It's a new cruiser. Hold on, just I don't remember where I signed that. Oh, yeah, the crew isn't even fully trained. They're still fresh. Um, yeah, that's the other thing. Once you get a ship done, you still need to train the crew. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, they start off fresh, like which is like green, and then you need to do naval exercises to get them up to regular.
Ah.
So, yeah, Navy takes a long time. Long time. That's why I'm doing like a Navy focus right now, even though it's gonna be a while till I need a Navy for
Oh,
any war, but I need
I
to,
actually have a fleet that's fresh.
hmm?
I actually have one
Oh,
ship
yeah, one of your
that's
destroyers
fresh.
still isn't, yeah, the newly built.
A newly built one, yeah.
Yeah. Pause again. Once you have more, you were probably trying to buy oil when you bought that steel and accidentally bought steel instead of oil. But
Musta.
yeah, because there's different tabs for each resource, and you have to go to filter by oil. Otherwise, you start off buying
Yeah.
chromium or steel or something. Um, hmm. could license you stuff for you to buy oil for me, but uh, it's oh heck with it. How how many? Yeah, I'll do it. I'm just gonna do a few more, couple more licenses, anyways. I'm massively subsidizing your country at this point. We're kind of okay. 3 more factories incoming.
Jeez.
That's it though. I can't actually give you any more than that because there's nothing more I can license from you.
Yeah.
You would have to create new things for me to license in order for me to do any more, and it's probably enough. I'm giving you 18 factories, which that's a lot. Um,
Yeah.
on the plus side, that probably gets you closer to your 50 factories for television innovators. I wonder if you could use
Hmm.
50 factories from licensing to get that really early. You probably
I don't know
could.
if it counts.
Says more factories. It doesn't say more owned factories. It might. It might count. Um, but yeah. Now that you got those factories, you can buy some oil from me so that you can get your Navy back on exercises for the Navy XP income.
How much oil should I buy?
Just one. You probably want to get that
Okay.
civilian factory done at some point, but that will help you
Yeah.
rebuild your fuel stockpile, and then you can start doing some Navy exercises after a little bit.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, did you change the task force to repair separately before and put them on medium repair priority? Because
Yep. Automatic split off enabled. Medium priority.
cool. Just so that as little fuel gets wasted as possible, because this is a pretty expensive money laundering scheme to say the least.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean the Iran Contra affair was a pretty expensive money laundering scheme too, and that's kind of it's not quite the inspiration because what the Iran Contra was let me think about this for a second. Um, the U.S. Congress passed a law prohibiting any financial support for the Contras because they were brutal fascists in Nicaragua. And for one of the very few times in American history, Congress decided to do the right thing and said, nope, you may not send weapons to these anti communist fascist militias in Nicaragua, right?
Yeah.
Reagan didn't like that. He was determined to do it anyway, so he sold weapons to Iran to fight Iraq with in the Iran Iraq war. Then he turned around, took the money from the sales, and gave it and used it to buy weapons. And then he took those weapons and sent them to Nicaragua, technically getting around and the whole thing was like hidden, like with like secret accounts and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's also accusations that there was some laundering of money through cocaine sales as well. Uh, the the Oliver North and this whole thing, not a lot of stuff was covered up, and he famously went before Congress and said, "I don't remember anything. I don't remember this." He was lying through his teeth, but he got away with it.
Yeah.
And it's known that he was involved in cocaine trafficking and that it was passing through some of the airfields that he was managing. So, yeah, and this is related to the whole accusations of the CIA being involved in cocaine trafficking. It may not be true, but there's enough circumstantial evidence that some people very much believe it to be true. And honestly, with the CIA, most of the time you're lucky to have anything more than some circumstantial evidence of
Yeah.
the bad things they did. So, like, you can't say for sure it happened, but if it did happen, this is probably all the evidence that there would be of it anyway. So, like, the CIA is very secretive, so you're almost never gonna have a smoking gun that proves they did something evil like that.
I
Oh
believe
yeah,
it.
and the cocaine was supposedly sent into Los Angeles, where it was sold to people who turned it into crack and helped spark the crack epidemic in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So, because that's where some of the like gun money laundering guns were going, some of those planes from Nicaragua were going to Los Angeles, and so if at the very least, even if the CIA wasn't directly involved, they turned a blind eye to cocaine smugglers who used the same planes and airfields. So
Yeah.
they enabled it, even if they
Sounds
didn't
about right.
do it themselves. Yeah. Um.
Uh, I can afford Grand Assault, the
Oh,
doctrine.
nice, nice. That'll be really useful. Reduce higher breakthrough, fewer casualties when you're attacking with these infantry that have terrible breakthrough. So like every one of those breakthrough points reduces crits. Like definitely good to take in this. Even if the breakthrough is useless, the soft attack is always useful. So
Do you have any more convoys?
you're out of convoys.
Yeah.
Do you have any factories available to
Well,
buy them?
all six of I have one factory. All six of them are transporting now. So if I lose any,
Yeah,
I can't.
you,
I'll have no surplus.
yeah. If you lose any, you'll be in trouble. What happened to all the convoys I was selling? Oh, Ecuador wants to buy them. I mean, is buying them. I hope I didn't accidentally leave reduced price ones for sale, and the AI decided to buy. No, because it's 1890 for 18.
What am I saving my political power for? Oh, right. Captain of Industry and Banco de Mexico.
Yeah,
De Mexico. Okay.
yeah. I was surprisingly didn't have any more convoys currently up for sale because even at the jacked up prices I was charging, the AI decided to buy them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, as world tension is going up, the AI is starting to buy everything. They're arming themselves to the teeth in case someone attacks them. Although I wouldn't say convoys are the most cost effective thing for them to be buying. They should probably be buying guns if they're worried about getting attacked. Um, although actually they're the one they're probably worried about is Peru because that has I forget the Amazon war hasn't happened yet. Ecuador and Peru didn't go to war yet, did they? Did that happen already?
No, doesn't look like it. Borders haven't changed
Y-
at all,
Yeah,
and I don't remember them fighting.
okay. Well, they will go to war eventually, and or there's an event that can lead. It often happens, and if they go to war, I guess the convoys would be useful for uh, getting through if Peru tries to like raid their shipping. They won't really be able to defend their shipping, but at least they can replace losses or threaten to do a naval invasion on Peru because they have convoys and Peru doesn't have the naval superiority to stop it. I don't know. I don't know their relative naval strengths, but it might be useful. They might not be as it might not be as stupid as it initially appears. They also own the Galapagos Islands, which can only be resupplied by sea. So yeah, Peru is buying some of my convoys, but you bought up the ones I just put for sale, right?
Where?
Oh, I just put up 12 discounted
Oh, I see
convoys.
them now.
Yeah, you should snatch them before the AI does, because I like to sell AI stuff at jacked up prices. They'll
I
pay
didn't
for.
realize they were up there yet.
Oh, yep.
I got them.
All right, I'm putting 64 jacked up convoys for sale. Just if the AI wants to buy them, they should be available so that I can sell more stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I currently have 14 sales contracts ongoing. Six of them are to you, but eight of them are to
Use.
the AI. So The AI is definitely buying stuff for me, and I am using it to build up
Uh-oh.
what?
I accidentally used my oil factory on that contract.
Oh,
Whoops.
you no longer.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's to just cancel the oil import, or it canceled it automatically on you.
Yeah, it canceled it automatically. That's all right.
Eh.
That factory will be freed up soon enough.
Yeah, and how much oil do you have in reserve now?
I have 100 and... Oh, I don't know.
If you hover over to say current fuel,
18K?
that's a bit. You're getting there. It won't be too long before you can do some naval exercises. I mean, you could do them now, but it wouldn't last very long before you ran out. Um, all right, I'll pause it. Hold on, I haven't saved in a while. Let me do that before I pause it. Yep, so you're buying rifles, convoys. Ah, how are these guys still undersupplied? Supply must be really terrible up in Vermont, I guess. This is annoying me to no end. It's not even bad there. Why? Is there a blizzard in Boston or something? Why are they so undersupplied? Uh,
Maybe need a new hub.
I might have to. I really hate doing it. Hubs are extremely expensive, but I got a lot of undersupplied divisions on the Canadian border. Shoot, I just got a vent.
Just conquer Montreal.
Boy, it were so easy. Uh, I could build a naval base in Bangor, Maine. It's a victory point anyhow, so I should probably be defending it.
And if you get military access off of them, does that give you logistics access too?
um, oh, on Canada?
Yeah.
It lets me put divisions in their territory, and I think they draw on their logistics network when they're in their territory, but not. It doesn't give
Okay.
me. I'm pretty sure it doesn't give me any supply in my territory. Only divisions that are actually moving through their territory benefit from their logistics. So I could station like troops in Halifax or something, and it would benefit from their logistics network. I'm pretty sure, or at least let me send ships to Nova Scotia. But um, yeah, if a war broke out, the troops instantly get kicked out of their territory or would go into exile and have to move out before it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be anywhere useful is the point.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Supply hubs are ridiculously expensive. Uh, yeah, I'll queue up a naval base in Bangor, Maine. That'll at least help a little bit with the supply problems. I'll probably need to assign trucks to do supply right before if a war actually breaks out. The divisions are so undersupplied, they're almost suffering supply attrition. So, yeah. I don't even have a blizzard affecting most of them or anything like that. It's just, I don't even know why the supply is suddenly so bad. Doesn't seem to be anything that's causing problems directly. Um, hmm. How's I have better supply in northern Montana than I do in New England, in Maine? Makes no sense. None. I tell you. Well, anyways, best deposit. Ooh, free dockyard. Oof. I just completed a cruiser and probably with a little overflow. I wasn't watching it carefully. Shoot. Should have remembered April 17th I was going to have a cruiser done. Cool. All right. Anyways, oh yeah, if you wanted to buy a little oil, Joe,
Yeah.
if you wanted to buy a little oil, you could probably, um, I doubt you'll ever use it, but maybe someday create another version of the Mark Zero coastal fence ship that doesn't even have the secondaries, or maybe yeah, it doesn't even have the secondaries, and save that as a new class. I don't know what you call it. Maybe you base hole or something, but
Um, what secondaries though? Doesn't the Mark Zero have none? Or
the Mark Zero does have a single secondary in the bottom right. If you look, started with one.
armor?
Uh, no, it's next to the
Oh, I
armor.
see. It's got the one. Oh, okay. I already started working on one.
Yeah, this is just so I can license it. Although if you ever start production on a second line,
I don't know. I don't think it's really necessary.
it's so I can feed you factories so you can buy some oil, not for anything else really. Although, oh, what were you saying you don't think is really necessary? Sorry, kind of.
You know, just making one more design. But I guess I can.
Yeah, there's nothing else I can license from you. And if you start if you start production on a second one at some point, which you might want to do in parallel, so that um it so that you can like get some progress, and then when you have a lot more dockyards down the line, when you conquer some, you can dump a whole bunch into them and get it done.
Yeah.
Um, because you can only put up to 5 in that first one. So once you get up to 6 dockyards, you might want to put like one into a second line. You might just want to start one without any secondaries, because by that point you'll be getting close to tech to start producing better secondaries, and you might want to create one with no secondaries and then retrofit in better ones when you have the tech.
Oh yeah.
It's also even quicker to produce without the secondaries, and so you economize on steel that way, because the retrofit to add secondaries won't cost any steel. It will cost a little steel for them adding the medium battery, I guess, but yeah. Still, your resources are very limited, so using them efficiently probably important. Um, did you create the variant so I can license it,
Yep.
or cool? Over the Navy, there should be one ship. Here we go. Shore bombardment cruiser hull. Cool. Did you get an offer? Or?
Yep. I see it.
Oh, right. Yeah, and then you can buy some oil for me. Um, I'll pause it if you want to buy it starting at 0100 so that you don't waste any. Because one of the interesting things about oil is that you get some every hour, so it's actually best to start import right at the beginning of the day.
What time is that? 1 or 7?
At
One.
1, yeah, like
Ah, okay.
right after the clock takes over. Everything is Greenwich time, but the whole world in this
All right.
game operates by Greenwich time, annoyingly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they had to use some standard GMT. So, Greenwich Median Time. You're buying the oil?
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Exporting 8 oil to Mexico. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Then you can, got a little stockpile. You can start doing those naval exercises, and it'll get you Navy XP. Um, ah! Just got an event losing support in the house. Now I think I actually have to do some lobbying.
Shoot.
Oh, no, I have just enough support in the Senate and 299 representatives still. But if anything happens to, let's see, 23. No, actually, I have enough time to do lobbying if I really need it. I'm trying really hard not to waste any more political power on lobbying, unless it's absolutely necessary. Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah, these RAM events can gain or lose support in the House or Senate, but most of the time I seem to lose it. So
Yeah.
maybe they don't like my money laundering scheme. Why are you sending how many factories to Mexico? Let's see. I'm trying to find if there's
20.
anywhere in the interface that actually tells me how many I'm sending you. Oh,
Um,
license 19.
19.
Yeah.
19 factories.
Well, I have 70 that are used for other things, so I'm sending you
Yeah.
almost 20 out of 80 available. Yeah, so I'm sending you almost a quarter of my surplus industrial production. What's not what could have been used for construction. So it's substantially reducing my economic growth rate. I can understand why people might criticize that.
So you have a special um law?
Yeah, undisturbed isolation. It's a really nasty one I start with, and to get rid of it, I need either 50% war support, I have to be at war, or I have to take limited interventionism, which allows me to mobilize sooner,
Uh,
but also doubles the political power cost of doing so. And India is pushing aggressively for independence. The Swaraj movement means that they'll try and revolt and either go fascist or communist.
hmm.
So, yeah. After Swaraj follows the All India Forward bloc, and then either they seek help from Germany or the Soviet Union. Oh, they can't do Germany because Germany is communist. But they can ask for help from the Soviets. They could actually just bypass seek help from Germany and go for the fascist anyways, I think, though. So
Yeah.
it, if they try and do that without help, though, they'll lose. So they either get help from the Soviets or they'll go it alone to go fascist. Either way, India's going to have a civil war. I don't know what type of help they get if they get the help from the Soviet Union. If it means Soviets join them in the war, or they just get like lend-lease or supplies or something.
Hmm.
Uh, it is possible a war could break out between the UK and Soviet Union over India. I'll have to see. Britain is trying to decolonize though, so if they do decolonize before the Civil War happens, then it will still be a civil war, but it won't be a puppet of the UK when it happens. So that will be helpful, I guess, for them. Canada
Oh,
declares independence. The Canadian government today announced that they will unilaterally be breaking ties with the British government. They say their inability to reconcile their political views with the present political developments occurring in Union Britain as
what?
the primary reason.
But
Uh,
they're going communist anyway, so.
Folks on YouTube, I am going to cut this in a second. I hope you enjoyed. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. May always find guy and start a video. I think it's because Canada might go Trotskyite,
Yeah. Well,
and
that or it's just an oversight. Because they
yeah,
did take. Oh, wait, no.
hold
Hmm.
on.